Hello. Hello. Okay. Chaser Game W2 Episode 2. Don't you guys feel that it was like super short? I felt like as soon as they got into something, they cut right away to something else. I don't know. It just felt a bit rushed to me. So I don't have any notes. So let me just. I will play the episode and fast forward to parts that I like, what I didn't like, and just a bit of commentary here and there. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the first minute is just a recap. It's not even a minute, 15 seconds in. But basically, first episode, Fuyu comes back and, tells Itsuki that to wait for her. Like, she wants to be with her. So to just wait a little bit. Most likely just to get approval from her mom and family, and whoever else, because I think her family is really well off. They have to worry about their reputation. Okay, and then it jumps to I keep calling her Chise, but that's her real name. So the Korean influencer, Yorum, she comes into the picture and she rents out the cafe for some, Instagram or whatever she's doing, shooting, live stream, whatever. So, and in this episode, we find out how she stumbled upon. She just happened to stumble upon Itsuki's profile on the company's site. I guess maybe because the game Celestial Goddesses got super popular, so maybe she was researching about it, because it's about a couple, right? It's about two lesbians or two women who hate each other and then fall in love with each other, and maybe that theme resonated with her, so she looked it up and somehow she stumbles upon Itsuki's profile, and then somehow she finds out that through some similar Instagram app that Itsuki is the owner, or not owner, she's shop manager of a cafe in Japan. So she takes that chance to reconnect with her. Okay, let me watch a little bit more. Oh, okay, so then Yorumu, she comes in, she hugs her right Itsuki right away, even kisses her on the cheek. Maybe this is a bit it's a little shocking for Itsuki, because I feel just based on my experience, the Japanese they're not very touchy-feely, kind of, if they don't know you that well, or just from the on the outside, they're just not very touchy-feely like that. This reminds me of when I visited earlier this year, and when I met people that I knew from online, especially Twitter, I would they wouldn't shake hands, because that's a really Western thing to do, so they would bow a lot. But for me, I felt like I knew these people a little bit somewhat. We kind of established a rapport, and so like when we left, I don't know when I'll see them again, right? So like there were a few instances where like I like hugged some of them before I left. Like they were just about to, I'm like, hey, come here, like give me a hug, and then I'll like stretch out my arms and like hug them. I think they got kind of like, this is the same experience or expression that Itsuki showed when Yorumu hugged her. But I don't know, that's just me. I like to hug people, because you don't know when you'll see them next, right? And yeah, so I like to hug, okay? So if you ever meet me, I might hug you, so don't be shocked or anything. Yeah, so if you travel by yourself, you will learn a lot about yourself. And that's one thing I learned about myself, is that I like to talk to random people. I like to hug people. This also reminds me of a time like during Yurika's like fan meeting. Like one of the girls that I met on Twitter, she's like a big fan, okay? But like she won the raffle. So Yurika, at like towards the end, she was like giving away like snacks and just little gifts to random people who like beat her in some game. I came close. I didn't win anything. Like we did like the janken like bone thing, like the rock paper scissors thing. I almost won, but then yeah, one of the girls I knew, she won, and she had to go up on stage, and I was sitting really close, like second row from the stage, second row, like first seat, I think. So I was like super close, and Yurika can see me like right there. I'm like just right in her face. But yeah, so one of the girls, she won, and that I knew, she walked up to the stage. She's very shy, and as she was passing, like I kind of grabbed her, and I'm like, yeah, you won. You know, and like just excited for her, right? But then she was looking at me like, what the heck, this crazy girl, what is she doing, right? But yeah, I don't know, I just want to show that I'm excited. So yeah, okay, let's go on. Okay. So we find out she's a social media influencer. She had a speech that went viral. Hikaru, the cafe girl, she knows a bit too much, I think. She's like, hey, you are Yorumu. Huh? How would she know? And then she just casually is speaking like Korean like nothing. Like, what? You barely learned it, but you're talking pretty well. So I am suspicious of this Hikaru girl. She's just randomly getting close to Yorumu and speaking Korean, and she knows a little bit too much, I think. So I am keeping my eyes on her. Then we also find out that Yorumu did a homestay, or she was exchange student, and Itsuki's family hosted her in high school. So that's how they know each other. I mean, this is like a pretty like for them to put this in, it's like very I feel like it's very interesting because I did a homestay too one summer when I was 15 or 16. So I stayed for about 2 months in Japan, 1 week in Tokyo. It was on a scholarship with 100 other US kids. And yeah, the first week was chaotic. They had to usher 100 US kids around Tokyo. We stayed at I think it was near Yoyogi Park. It was like some building that was used for the Olympics at one point, I think, that they told us. So the rooms were like tiny. Oh my God. They were probably the size of my office right now, but including a little shower and a toilet, but it was tiny. But we didn't spend that much time in there. We were always doing something every day. But my home my host family, I had 2 of them, which was unusual. Most kids had one host family because it's such a short time. It was only 2 months. And then I stayed with a half American, half Okinawan family. So I stayed in Okinawa for 2 months, which everyone always goes, wow, you stayed in Okinawa? So for Japan, that's like the Japan or the Hawaii of Japan. So I stayed there for 2 months during the summer. It was super hot. Wow. Insanely hot. I just remember it's very muggy. But I had a lot of fun. I had 2 host families. First one was half American. The dad didn't speak Japanese at all. Then they had a daughter. So the daughter was half American, half Okinawan. And she was doing a host exchange. She was doing exchange abroad in like Germany, I think, after a month. So that's why I had another family lined up for me. So the second host family, it was full Japanese. I think the dad's from mainland Japan. The mom was Okinawan. And yeah, what was different about them though is that a part of their house was connected to like a shrine. So the dad is like a priest or something. I just remember one day they woke me up in the morning. I was just like still in my pajamas. They're like, hey, come take a picture. I'm like, what do you want? So like they dragged me out, and then her dad was like in the full gear, like the priest gear. So they wanted me to take a photo with him in front of the shrine. That was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that family. They had 2 daughters. I still keep in contact with them via social media. I saw my host sister. When did I see her? Maybe 4 years ago, I think. She came to visit her because her younger sister lives here now. So she was visiting the sister, and we hung out a little bit too. And then yeah, so I stayed with that family. So I went to 2 different high schools, wore 2 different uniforms. That was fun. Yeah, but every high school kid should, study abroad at least for a summer or 1 year. Just anywhere else outside of where they live, it opens your eyes. Like, you realize that your life is so small. There's a whole like world out there for you to explore, different people, different ways of thinking. Like after I came back, it was like this changed my life. So okay, let's watch a little bit more. So now they're following Fuyu. Like, she doesn't have anything to do. Her husband and her daughter like are off doing other things while, he's giving them Fuyu and Itsuki time to kind of get to know each other again, get reacquainted, talk things out, which is super nice of him, right? He is like the hero. Like, everyone hated him in season 1, but wow, look, this is like, tables have turned. He's like the hero. So nice, so understanding, but he probably realized that things, she doesn't want to be with him. Fuyu is like dead. So he wants to set a good example for his daughter, so I applaud him for that. So now we see Fuyu just shopping. She remembers the scene from season 1 where she confronts Itsuki. She like smashes that earring where they had a matching pair. They both wore one. I think it was one. Well, each of them had one, and it was a pair. And she like smashed it on the ground at the cafe. And then you can just tell that like Itsuki is like so heartbroken because she had bought that. And then Fuyu is like, this is how you made me feel. You crushed my feeling. I crushed this earring, right? So she just looks very bitchy. She wants to hurt Itsuki as much as possible. That was her goal of coming to Japan. So now she's shopping and she sees another pair of earrings and it reminds her of that. So she's going to buy it and give it to kind of replace the one that she crushed before. Okay. This episode, I don't know, I found myself laughing a lot. I don't know, why am I laughing? I don't know. I think it's how, is this like a romantic comedy? I don't know anymore. But the tone, it feels a little bit different from season 1. I mean, there were comedic moments in season 1, but this one I feel like it's more so. Maybe because they cut the music, they'll play like some melodic melody and da da da, like, it's just very calming, and then all of a sudden someone will say something and then the music just cuts off, just for that dramatic effect. But so what happened now is that Yoroma is talking to Hikaru in the cafe. They're just looking around the cafe, taking photos, video, whatever. And then Yoroma's like, oh, I want to live stream from here. And they're speaking in Korean. And then she asks Itsuki, like, is it okay? And then she says, I want to live stream with you, and up in that loft area. And then Itsuki's like, what? This that place is Fuyu, and it's our Itsuki and Fuyu's place. So she doesn't want to go to kind of mix it up, I guess. So she tries to she doesn't do a good job, but she tries to convince Yorumu to do it somewhere else, like at a table. And then she's like, no, up there. It's like very, it's the setting up there. I guess it's very cute. They have like a little table up there. It looks very cozy. There's like a blanket that's kind of like on the wall. Makes it, very cozy vibes up there. Okay. So what I didn't like about this is that they are not subbing all of the Korean and all of the Chinese lines. It's like they're picking like little bits here and there to subtitle. Luckily, I know a little bit of Korean and it sounds similar to Japanese. So you can kind of guess like what they're saying. But I did use a bit of generative AI to create Korean or Chinese subtitles to just kind of make sense of what they're saying, because I'm not fluent in those languages. I know a bit here and there, but yeah, that was annoying. Just sub everything, be consistent. Okay. So I feel like all of the scenes with Fuyu, like, what are they turning her into? Like, she was this cool and like, kind of this like bitchy persona in season 1. Of course that changed, but we're seeing this different side to her. She's clumsy. She gets excited easily. She's showing more of her emotions. I know in interviews they've had, Nakamura, Yurika, and I was gonna say Harumoto Itsuki, Yuuka, Sugai, Yuuka. They had some interviews with them, and they mentioned that Fuyu's character will have a lot of ups and downs, so you'll see a lot of like a emotional roller coaster with her, and I think that's what we're seeing now. Well, she's like happy right now. She's happy to be shopping, to play games, and then she's winning this thing. I think she's gonna give it to Itsuki. I don't know what she won, but she's like speaking in Mandarin and Japanese mix. It's so funny because she's like "Aya," which I say that a lot too. It's just funny. I don't know. And then she meets with God damn it, I don't remember her name, but one of the girls from that worked at the company on the game too. So she happens to bump into her, and invites her over to the company just to meet. Okay, let me fast forward a little bit. So now they're gonna do the live stream, and in the live stream, Yorumu talks about her host sister, and introduces Itsuki. Okay, so Yorumu, she uses this Korean term a lot, umnyang. I think this is the same word that was used in Past Life. It's a Hollywood movie that was mainly in Korean. I think that it was this, or unyoung, something like that. Umnyang. This one's umnyang, which is fate. but she mentions this a lot. So you'll hear this word pop up a lot. So they live stream, and then we cut to Itsuki, and she sent a bunch of messages. She's like freaking out because why is Itsuki not messaging her back? And then there's a screenshot of the chat. It's all green bubbles, which means she's sending it, and the timestamps are all within the same minute, like 10:37, and it's now 11:40, and Itsuki hasn't responded. So Fuyu's becoming a little jealous, insecure. It's a little scary. If you've ever been in a relationship where you have someone like this, it's kind of flattering at first, but then it's a little scary later on because they don't trust you, and there's jealousy is not, it's not that cute that people, what you think it is. It's not. Here and there it's okay, but yeah, this just means that there's no trust there. Okay, so now that there's this other background music they play. It's like a lot of bass and a lot of thumps, and it sounds like thunder. So like it creates this kind of ominous feeling. So they're playing that right now with this scene. Fuyu has stumbled upon Cafe Mellow, and it's a similar Instagram. It's very similar to Instagram, and she sees that they're going live. And she sees Itsuki and Yoromu, and Yoromu is like feeding Itsuki some parfait, and it kind of ticks Fuyu off. So she runs in the rain to the cafe. So you hear a lot of thunder cracking when because Yoromu puts her head on Itsuki's shoulder, and then you cut to Fuyu, and she has this disgusted, she's like, what is this bee doing? Yeah, okay. I might have put the wrong word in here. I put umyoung. It's imyoung, I think, but they sound very similar. But the word is fate. Let me see. Inyoung. Fate in Korean. Okay. Oh, shit. I used the wrong word. It's inyoung. Shit. Because I looked this up. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay. I'll be back. Okay. I had some things to deal with. Not fun things. Found out someone used my information to open up a credit card at Home Depot, which is a home improvement store. I don't go to Home Depot. I have not been there in a long time. Why would I open up an account? Anyways, had to deal with that. Okay, let's get back to Jacer Game W2 episode 2. Okay, let's watch. Oh, wanted to mention that I incorrectly used the word umyoung in Korean. It's actually inyoung. I remember this word because it was in Past Lives, which is a movie that was nominated for an Oscar, and also the lead actress. I think her name's Celeste. I forget. But yeah, she got nominated for her part in that movie, and they used that term a lot through the movie. So that's how I know this word. But yeah, this word is very like poetic. In-young. I'll kind of briefly like read it to you what it means. So the AI Google thing tells me that it means fate or providence, and specifically it's used to describe the relationships between people. It's the central theme in the movie Past Lives. Okay. So the concept of it is yin-yang is a philosophy that describes how relationships form over many lifetimes. It can mean that two people are destined to meet, perhaps over multiple lifetimes. Oh my God, that kills me right there. So like, for example, if two strangers brush up against each other while walking on the street, it's said to be yin-yang because it means there was something between them in a past life. The concept of yin-yang is often symbolized as a red thread that ties two souls together. So if you know, Japan also believes in this red thread of fate too. Akai Ito? I forget if they have another term for it or not, but they always talk about this red thread. So used in daily life, the concept of yin-yang is also casually used in day-to-day life in Korea. For example, people might say we have yin-yang when talking to each other. So it's a very nice word. Okay, let's go back. So then Yorumu, she confesses to Itsuki, tells her like, I've loved you for 12 years, be with me, but then Itsuki says no, she can't, she's waiting for someone. And she's like, why? Like, why are you guys not together? Like, what's stopping you guys? And of course, it's Fuyu. She's still married. And that kind of pisses Yorumu off. She's like, what? Why would you, like, that's just wrong. And then she says, you know, I'll make you happy, blah, 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 but Itsuki doesn't fall for it. And then Fuyu walks in on them hugging. Well, Yorumu is hugging her from behind, hugging Itsuki from behind. So Itsuki is not a willing participant in this case. And Fuyu's mad, throws the earrings, and just storms off in the rain. Okay. See. And then the next day, so Itsuki, she runs after her, but I don't think she catches her, because they show the next scene, which Fuyu is in at a Dynamic Dream, which is the fake gaming company, which is actually shot in Cyber Connect 2's actual offices, I think. The setup looks similar to the Tokyo one that I visited. It looks very similar, but I don't know if it's the same one or not. I know they have another location in, I think, Osaka. So it might be that one. Let's see. So she's there, and she happens to see the three co-workers, her past co-workers, and they look upset. And then there's a high school girl leaving, and Fuyu's like, who, why, what is this high school girl doing here? So the high school girl, she represents the creator of Celestial Goddesses, the manga, Chan Shurin. And so this is the sister. I guess they couldn't get the original actress back for this, so they made up some excuse and said like, oh, she's busy with studying for exams for like college entrance or whatever. So we have her younger sister. She's like not approving anything that they've presented to her. They're creating a drama of celestial goddesses. So maybe we might see something later on where they use Itsuki and Fuyu as, potential backups for this drama, because the poster for season 2 is them dressed up in celestial goddess gear. So maybe there's a future episode where they do this. So my guess, they're setting this up for it. So that's one of my predictions. Okay. Then and then we go back to Itsuki. She's like in a daze, and she's upset over how Fuyu must be feeling. So she's in the cafe and she's sprinkling salt on, I think it's a Dutch baby, which is like, it's like an upside down cake kind of thing that's made in a cast iron pan. It looks like a Dutch baby, but it's like a small version of it. And then she's sprinkling salt on it. But probably the salt would kind of, because it's kind of sweet, so maybe the salt would taste better. But she mixes the two up. She's supposed to put sugar on top. Because I think the sugar caramelizes on the top and you like blowtorch it or whatever. But then Hikaru sees this. She's just like, hey, maybe you should take a break. I'll take care of the shop. And she leaves. Then we go back and the girls are talking to Fuyu. She goes through all these different emotions. She's upset, happy, but they talk about Yoromutu, the live stream, and what else happens? But yeah, it's funny seeing like Fuyu's faces and reaction as they go through this kind of scene, because they're all trying to make her feel better about and secure about their relationship with Itsuki. But in turn, they kind of make her insecure because they're going on and on about Yorumu and how impressive she is. So she graduated with honors from Seoul University. She has a black belt in Taekwondo. What else did they say about her? She's smart, she's beautiful. They say all these things, but then in the end they try to say, wait, make her feel, they forget that Fuyu's there, and they try to make her feel better and say, oh, she's wearing too much makeup, she seems kind of selfish, like look at this. And I don't know if it helps, maybe it does, but they mentioned to her that about the dating app that Itsuki was on, and whatever Itsuki set up looked exactly like Fuyu, so that you can see like a little smirk, appearing on Fuyu's face. She likes hearing that. Let's see what else happened. Let me look through. Okay, that scene. Oh, finally, Fuyu goes back to the hotel, and then who's waiting for her? It's Itsuki. She just wants to make amends and kind of like clear the air with her that she's, misunderstanding. And then Itsuki confesses and says, "I only love you, Fuyu. There's no one else." And then Fuyu just storms off into the elevator. But then, she looks pissed off. But then in the elevator, she's all like giddy and happy, and she's like, she just looks so funny. But then Itsuki, she confesses that like in the lobby, so like everyone can hear her. So Fuyu's a little shocked by that. Then, of course, the elevator scene. So same thing happens in season 1. Season 2, same thing. So some elevator issue. And it's only Fuyu in there this time. As you remember, she's claustrophobic, so she's stuck in there. And then Itsuki rushes to like the disaster prevention office or something, and there's a guy there, and she pushes him out and says like, "Hey, I need to help someone. They're stuck in there. Let me talk to her." And then she just pushes the guy. Like, this would not happen in real life, but okay. And then she talks to Fuyu over the intercom and like calms her down. They talk about some things to kind of keep her mind off of it. They talk about when they were in college together, and it makes Fuyu feel better. And then all of a sudden the lights go out, and then it freaks Fuyu out even more. So Itsuki is like, "No, I have to save her. She's gonna like freak out more." So she grabs like a crowbar, and she goes to the elevator and opens it up. And then slowly they have like this perfect shot, and then finally like Itsuki saves her, and then they hug, and then they're about to kiss, but no, some guy, that same guy that she pushed, he comes and interrupts them. And so he takes Itsuki away for questioning because she damaged the elevator with the crowbar. And then Itsuki's like, "Oh, okay, I'll just call you later or contact you later." So they say bye-bye. And then we see Fuyu all happy. She set up some dinner table with some food and wine, maybe some dessert too, I don't know, I can't tell. And then she gets a call in her hotel room. The receptionist says, "Oh, you got a call from Harumoto-san." But no, she's like, "Itsuki." And then it's actually Yorumu. She says, "Boo, you're wrong. It's me. I'm Yorumu. Your worst nightmare." No, she doesn't say that. She says something like that. But So then she tells her straight up. She's like, you're hurting. You are hurting, Itsuki. You're married, and what are you doing, like stringing her along, giving her these like false hopes? So she says that, and they hang up, and you can tell like it affects Fuyu. She realizes that what she has asked of Itsuki is, you know, it's not it hurts, right, to not be with someone you love, and kind of put these like I don't know what you would call it, like stipulations to the relationship. I've had relationships like that in the past. It's not, you're not free to do what you want. And my first relationship with my first girlfriend, I found out she was cheating on me, and yeah, maybe I'll talk about it another time. What happened was I found out she was cheating on me, and I didn't want to lose her. So, and I was like neglecting her. I know. I was like, that was during my crazy, like, beginning of my fan subbing period. So I was like staying up late, not like paying attention to her, not giving her what she needed. So she found it somewhere else. It was with someone that was at work. We both worked at the same place. And it was this guy. And then I find out I was really close with her uncle, and he gave me some app. The app was, it collected your keystrokes, so recorded it, and whenever you used it, it would like it would save onto like this text file. And so I installed that, and every night I would read that. Sometimes it was like gibberish, because sometimes she would like type in Korean, and it doesn't match up like with the keyboard, so it would just be random like letters, and it doesn't make sense. So that's when I knew, okay, she's chatting with some Korean people, okay, whatever. But then I finally found like some texts or some messages in this text file in English, and just from reading it, I'm like, okay, something is going on. Yeah. And then I eventually got into her email, and I read, I think she accidentally left it logged in on my laptop. So she used my laptops a lot, so I don't think she had one of her own. I don't remember. But yeah, so she was not very smart. She did not log out of her email, I think, one time, and I just happened to look through it, and of course I see the messages between her and this guy. So I knew. It didn't feel good. Yeah, I think at that time we were like maybe 2 or 3 years into the relationship. We were living together, and yeah, it was not a good feeling, right? I went postal as when I read it. I read like she was out that night too. So, and she was out with him, because she was in this crazy like clubbing phase. So she's like to go clubbing a lot. And I hated that scene. I went a few times, here and there. I went a lot, like when I was like 19, 20, 21, 22. Then I stopped. But yeah, she was a little younger than me. And yeah, she was out with him that night. I was reading these emails. I was like, oh my god, my blood was boiling. So let me take a little break here. Yeah, so she was out. I went through her clothes. I started cutting her stuff up, started throwing stuff on the ground. She liked to curl her hair a lot, so I cut the cord. I bought her some clothes. I cut it all up, and then she came home and she's like, "What the heck? You're crazy." I'm like, "No, you're the crazy one. You're messing with this relationship, right?" Yeah. She finally confessed and told me why. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, there was instances where I would try to hug her and she would not reciprocate. She's just push me off. I can tell something was different, right? And that's why I chatted with her uncle and installed this keylogger thing. But she was not coming clean, so I had to do that for my own sanity. But yeah, anyways, the point is I came up with a stipulation with her because I didn't want to lose her, so I allowed her to see this guy once or twice a week during a certain time, and I told her, you guys can't be intimate. You figure it out at the end of I gave her, I think, a month. I said, at the end of the month, you decide who you want to be with. Do you want to be with him or me? So during this time, oh my god, I did my best to win her back. I made her lunch. I bought her flowers. I was I just gave her all the attention she wanted. Things got a lot better. We talked a lot more. And then finally the day came, and I told her to bring that guy over, and then we talked outside. I mean, this is very adult thing, right? Like me asking my girlfriend to bring her boyfriend that she's cheating on with me to come over to talk. He was immature. He didn't really say much. But yeah, but she broke it off with him while I was there. And that was that. Yeah. Not a good point in my life, but I'm not very proud of it. But what do you do when you don't want to lose this person that you love so much, right? She's my first girlfriend. Yeah, okay. Back to the show. So now Fuyu, so I understand Fuyu, how she feels. She's upset. She's what does she know? But Yoromu is just speaking the truth. So in interviews, they've said that Yoromu acts like that kind of. She's the one that says things that no one else can, which kind of makes them think. Makes Fuyu think, makes Itsuki think about, what is going on here, right? Is this the right thing to do? So she plays a big role in either bringing them apart or bringing them together. But it's the latter, I think, to bring them together. I think they've said this in interviews. Okay. And then Itsuki comes, they hug, and she's like, Fuyu's all sad. She's like, I'm sorry, like you're hurting. And then Itsuki's like shocked. She's like, no, not at all. Like to her, it's worth it. I understand like Itsuki's point of view. She doesn't want to lose her. So it's very similar to what I've experienced, what I just explained to you about my relationship with my first girlfriend. It's similar, kind of, not really, but you know, you have this love triangle thing going on, or for in their case is a love square. But then the husband, Fuyu's husband, is very understanding, so he's not even in the picture anymore. They've already decided they're gonna divorce, so it's more of a love triangle. Okay. They eat. And then she's like, no, it's okay. I'm fine. Like, you're worth it, right? She doesn't say she's worth it, but they eat. They're happy. And she's wearing the earring. They're like, hey, look. I'm wearing the earring you got me. Well, I crushed the other one, Fuyu says. Right? Well, she doesn't say that, but okay. And then they're feeding each other. How many times will they feed each other? This is getting a little boring. Like, do some other things. So they're feeding each other, all happy, lovey-dovey, and then Itsuki's like kissing her. And of course, they come in and almost kiss again, but they're interrupted, of course, by Fuyu's mom, who's like banging on the door and ringing the doorbell like crazy. And then Fuyu is like, Itsuki, you gotta hide. And she's like, oh shit. But when you're in kind of like not a public relationship, this is what you have to do. You're hiding a lot. You can't reveal certain things. I mean, I've had to deal with this before. With both of my ex-girlfriends, I was always hiding from friends, family, whatever, sneaking into the house like that. It's nothing new to me. Hiding in the blankets, hiding on the bed, running in the living room, hiding in the bathroom, hiding in the shower stall. Like, I have done all of that. Like, you guys think that that's all made up stuff when you see it on TV, but I've experienced it, so it's not fake. It does happen. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So then she's like, oh no, what do I do? And then it ends there. And then you have this cute scene. The ending scene is very cute with the credits. You have Itsuki, Fuyu, and Ski like in their yukata in summer, and they're doing like hanabi. They're playing with the fireworks, like the sparklers. It's like, oh, they're together and they're a cute little family. And then Yurika's new song is called LOVE, is the song title. And it's a really nice song. It hasn't been fully released yet. But yeah, and then next episode, I'm so excited for next episode. Like, I think Fuyu like confronts the mom, but then we also see the slap. Oh my god, we see Gyorumu slapping Fuyu, and then they have some scenes where they're like their first, I guess, date maybe, and where Fuyu confesses how she feels. She's not sure about it, it seems, and maybe their first kiss. I don't know. I feel like they will not give us that kiss on the lips till way later. Or maybe, let's see, second. So the last one was like the episode where they like kind of slept together in season 1 was episode 4. Everyone was shocked by that one. So maybe by episode 4 we'll see something. So the next episode is episode 3. But yeah, that one looks very fun and kind of like it gives me like those butterflies of like, you know, when you're first falling in love and you don't know what you're feeling, if it's right, because it's like, you know, it's another woman you're dealing with. You don't know if she'll reciprocate. Yeah, it's a lot of issues like balled up into one. Okay, this is getting very long. It's over an hour. I'm gonna edit it down and post it for you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. It's I forgot. This is the Oshikatsu Pod, TOP, and I'm Ayu. Bye.